Hello friends, welcome to part 2 of Basic Angular 5 crash course by Perfect Web Solutions. I'm your host Imran Qasim, and in today's video tutorial we are going to learn about what is interpolation, what is data binding, and how to do two-way binding in Angular 5. So before I start my video tutorial, I will request you, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do consider and subscribe to it, and don't forget to press the bell icon beside the subscribe button so you will get notified as soon as I upload new video or if I'll upload any new series. So thank you very much. Let's get started. So I have just opened here my code editor, which is Visual Studio Code for me. For this series, I'm going to use Visual Studio Code. So just let me load my project here, open folder. And the project name was, I'm sure you remember it, it was Welcome App. So here is our Welcome App, and I've just opened it. After that, I'm going to run it from the terminal so that whenever I make a change, it will be affected. So let me go to the desktop, and from here I will enter into Welcome App. Welcome. It is Welcome App, and ng serve minus O, so it will open in the browser as well. So let's wait and see that my browser is loading here. Let me adjust the screen size, and it's opening here. Just wait few seconds. After it successfully compile, it will load it. Yep. Here what we have did in the last video tutorial, we have created some components. Let me create a new component, and that will be our contact us form, and I will just simply add a form and will show you property binding, interpolation, and two-way binding as well. So let me add another module. I will go into my Visual Studio Code, then into the integrated terminal, and here I will type, as you know, ng generate or ngg you can say, and C for component, or you can type component here. So ng space g space C, and then name the component. So contact is the component name. So the component created the 4 modules. 2 of them are the TypeScript file, and one is CSS and one is HTML, and as well as it updated over module, app module. So it has added this, imported this component to our app module, and you can see here contact component has been successfully imported. So what I do next is here add another path, contact, using the router module, and the component is contact component. Let me do it here. So what it is saying, cannot find name path, cannot find component. Oh, I'm sorry, let me cut it from here, and I will put here curly brackets, and then I will, yeah, now it will work. Sorry for that. So now that it is added over contact form, and let me add it into our component.html file, app component.html, where I have added the other file, and it is in our app, and then in our app component.html file it is in there. Yeah, here it is, and then we just create a new li tag and call it contact, and then name it contact us, save it, and you will see another contact us, and it says contact work. Here we are going to add our forms. So in the contact tab, just go to the contact component.html, remove this one, and here we need to add our form. In the form we do need some text boxes. I will use here only one text box and one input button to show you the example of this, how we use interpolation. So here first I need h2 title here and contact us, and from here I will just add input text, and I have to name it, so txt input. After that I will add a button here, a br tag, and then input submit button and give it value of send, and that's it. So you see our form, ugly form has been shown here. You can style it as you like. You can make it a bootstrap styling, whatever styling you like. But I'm going to show you a simple example here, so I'm not going to style it here. So first, let's talk about interpolation. Interpolation is basically taking data from your component, TS component, and then add it into your HTML document which is related to that particular component. So suppose I'm currently in contact component. This is a contact folder, and inside contact folder there is a contact.component.ts. This file, this contact.component.ts file is responsible for sending data to our component contact.component.html file. So how we send it? We just simply create some properties here, just like if you know object-oriented programming. This is just example of a class. This is a class, and it implements on init function. On init is an you can see here on init is a core functionality or core component of AngularJS, or I must say Angular 5. So its implement means it's inherited the values from on init, and it will create a class named contact component. So of course here we can create some properties, some methods as we want. So suppose I want to add a property here. Suppose frm title. I'll have form title which I've just added. So its type is string, and it is equal to contact us, like this. And after that I will add some another property like frmbtn string. A string data type is string. That is TypeScript notations, how to define the variables. First you name it, and then you define its type like it's string, and then submit. I will change it to submit. So these are two properties I have just created in contact.component.ts file. Now I will implement them using interpolation inside contact.component.html file here. So how can I implement them? Interpolation is used by using the curly braces. This is called interpolation, and inside here double curly braces I need to put the property which I want to display here and which I have defined here. One is frm title. So what I need to do here is I just put frm title. Make sure it spells same as you type the property, and after that you see this exclamation mark came because this contact us is written with exclamation sign, so that is why it's changed. And also the button is currently saying send button, send. So if I put a value, if I put here changes, and I just put frmbtn here, save it, and you will see it will change to submit, and it has successfully been changed to submit button. So this is how you bind using interpolation. There is another way to bind the data, that is called a property binding. As you may know that every entry, every single tag, HTML tag, has a field of property, have different properties. Like inside this input we have two different properties, type and value, and in this input we have type, name and ID as a property. So to bind this property with this value, either we can use the interpolation, or we can simply do a square brackets around the property which we want to use, and then inside we put equal sign, and then equal sign, and then in double quotes or single quote we just put the name of that particular variable or math property which we have defined inside our component.ts file, particular component.ts file, in this case contact.component.ts. After that, if you compile it, it will show the same value. Like if I change it submit today, and I will save it, and you will see it is changed here and showing submit today. This is just because I have used the property binding. This is called property binding. When you use square brackets around any property, it will change that property to it. So here we change the value. Same if I have a button here, suppose we have another text box, input box, we can have different, like input type is equal to checkbox, and here we can put value is equal to frmbtn. I'm just supposed to show you this, that how it works. And then here we can use square bracket and say frmbtn, and if I save it, you will see here this property, inspect element, and you see its value is, and input type is a checkbox, its value is submit today. So this is just because of this using frm btn. So here frm btn, and then it will work here. You see submit today is shown here as well, right? So this is how you bind the property, bind some properties from your component.ts file to your HTML document. Now the third way is called two-way binding. Two-way binding is a process where you make changes in your input type text, and it will most oftenly work with those fields which have selected input value, which have options to select or type the value. In my case, any input checkbox, any input text does have this property, like this one have a property of value. So you can type in this value, like if I show you here, I can type here anything. So in two-way binding, I want that whatever I type inside this value, it must be shown somewhere else as well as I am typing it. So that is called two-way binding. So how to achieve this? I will use the same example, this txt input example. So what I will do here, rather than using the value option, I will use ng model option, right? Ng model is a directive for Angular 5, which is used to create two-way binding. So how to use ng model? I need to put a square bracket and then a small braces, and after that this one. This interpolation or this notation is used to target ng model. So I will type here ng model. But before this ng model works, we should import forms module to our default ng module. So, and go to your app module.ts file, and simply I need to import another module here, which is import forms module, and it is a built-in Angular forms. Simply import it, and after importing forms model, sorry, the module spelling is wrong. So forms module, it is a convention that if you are importing a component, then name it with the component variable like this, about component, so we can understand it. This one is a component and this form is a module, so that is why I put forms module. After writing it there, you need to import it. Modules should be imported and the component must be declared in your app.module.ts. So keep in mind that even if you create your own module, you have to import it, and if you create a new component, you have to declare it inside this array of ng module. Your default ng module, you have to declare the component and you have to import your module. So as we have named it forms module, so I just copy this one, and inside import array I simply put here like this, and after that it will work. And let me see, forms module, and it is Angular forms, yep, right? So let me see if there is any error shown here in the console. So it says there are lots of errors here. Set unexpected column. So let me see, and after that I have to go to your component, and ng model is equal to yeah. When you type ng model, you have to type here the value you want to, or I must say class property, which is here, and that is frm input string is equal to default value. This default value frm input will be shown here is equal to this one. Now this is called two-way binding, and now our form is working and the default value is shown here. But what I want that as I type in this input box, I may have here a span tag, and this span tag should be automatically be updated with the latest value which I put here. So I will use interpolation here and put that value, sorry, that's class property frm input here as well, so that let's see, yeah. So now I have a default value here as well as I have a default value shown here as well. As you can see, let me show you. So now what is the two-way binding? That as soon as I start typing here, you will see immediately that span tag also reacting with my input. You see? So this is what we called two-way binding. This is how we perform two-way binding using ng model. And for the ng model, make sure you have added f forms module, and you have imported the default forms module inside your default app module. It must be imported, otherwise it's not gonna work. So guys, this was our today's video tutorial about how to use interpolation, how to bind property, and how to use two-way binding using ng model. So in next video tutorial, we are going to further discuss more directives like ng if, ng loop, where we do, sorry, ng not ng loop, loops. We are going to decide iteration, I must say iteration, how to do iteration, how to make decisions, like if the checkbox is checked or not checked, we will change the values depending on that check, and we create dynamic interactive forms as well. So stay tuned and wait for the next video tutorial. And please, if you haven't subscribed yet, do consider and subscribe to our channel, as we are uploading daily 2 or 3 videos from now on. So thank you guys for being with me. Take care and bye.